Hello, beautiful people. It is your dyslexic book nerd here, and I am blessed today. I got the man, the myth, the phenom, Terry J Benton-Walker with me today.
Hey,
Hello.
what's up? How are you?
I am awesome. I am awesome today. How are you doing today?
I am likewise awesome. I'm very happy to be sitting down with you to talk about all things TJverse. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Like, I was stoked. I was like, I cannot wait. I was doing the whole dance. I was like, because I got questions. Like the minute
Mhm.
I fell into the TJ verse, I was
Yes, I
sold.
love that.
So let's start with the Blood Debt series.
Okay.
So can you tell our readers something, about the
Mhm.
series, what it's about?
Yeah, so I like to pitch the Blood Debt series as a contemporary Game of Thrones featuring Black and Black queer teens set in a modern day New Orleans. And the premise is that 30 years after the most brutal magical massacre in New Orleans history, twin heirs of a dethroned family set out to right the wrongs in their family's past and bring about the justice that they are owed. This book has been called Young and the Restless with Magic. um, this
Definitely.
is it's been likened to the originals television series. If you were into that, definitely heavy originals vibes. Also, and I did a TikTok video on this not too long ago. There were a lot of parallels between Blood Justice and X-Men '97. So I don't know if you watched X-Men '97,
I
but
did.
yeah, did you catch the parallels between the
Yeah,
show and Blood Justice? Like it was wild.
it was.
Um, yeah, so it's a very black, very queer story. Just like everything in the TJ verse, I write with black and black queer audiences in mind. So everything the TJ verse is for us.
That's why I was like, yo, I, I gotta read this, and he gotta be on book therapy. We gotta be
Yeah.
in the magazine because Blackout Magazine is centered in black brown queer culture. We are the excellence
Mhm.
of the pulse of the culture. So I was like, yeah, I gotta get into this. I know I'm gonna ask the question that everybody is asking, like when gonna be book three, man?
Oh, okay, start with the heavy questions up front. So in all honesty, I do not know when we will get a book three. I have a synopsis that I wrote a while back. Of course, it's going to change for what will happen in book three. But the reality of the situation today is that I don't have a contract for the rest of the series. And I have always envisioned the Blood Debt series as 5 books.
Mm.
So, so my publisher hasn't said no, but it heavily depends on how well Blood Debts and Blood Justice continue to do. So things like this, and you sitting down with me and like talking about the series and help getting the awareness out that the series is out there and it's good and it's for us, so we need to read it, is helping a lot with getting me to 5 books. So hopefully we will be having those conversations soon. However, I will say, and I've been like doing a lot of like thinking and processing just about this and like, like the situation and like the broader world and like just all the social injustice going on like globally. And Blood Justice is a protest book. I
Mm.
was incredibly angry when I wrote that book. And in that story, that like writing that story was very cathartic for me because black and black queer kids got to be angry in that story. Like Christina Trudeau got to be angry in Blood Justice. And she got to say, actually, I don't want to take the high road. I don't want to turn the other cheek. Like you did me dirty and I'm gonna get my lick back. And she got to explore like that part of herself and like that pursuit of justice and like really understand like how far is too far and what happens if you get lost in your violence. and or Lost in Your Rage. And I don't know. I feel like Blood Justice is a protest book, and it's so very relevant to a lot of the stuff that's going on right now in the world. And I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but like there's been a couple of times where like something would happen in the media and I would like quote tweet it
Yeah,
with a passage from Blood Justice. I'm like, we talked about this in Blood Justice. And so I feel like I don't want to move on too quickly from Blood Justice onto the next book because like to be honest, like with the state of the world and just like also with like my personal like state and how I'm feeling with like what's going on in the world and like also what's going on in my life. I don't know that we're ready to move on collectively from Blood Justice. Like that's a book that I feel like we need to sit with for a little while.
I'm with it.
And yeah, because I'm not, even though like it hurts me to leave the series where we left it at the end of Blood Justice, but I also feel like we're not ready to move on yet. Like we gotta let it sit and steep and marinate a little bit more
Marinate
before
a
we move
little bit
on.
like that nuck if you buck. I was like, yo, like we ain't even waste no time.
Mm-mm.
We was
Yep.
there. And
Christina Trudeau let you know from the very first line of chapter one what
yes,
time it was.
all day I was with it. You know what I'm saying? As
Hmm.
a black trans man, I was like, yo, like I feel
Hmm.
that you know what I'm saying to my core. I feel that, especially right now in the state of the
Hmm.
way things are. And so I was like, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then like then I
Yep.
was like, you know what is too far? What you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? To get lost in that. And so that book was like uh, plenty of times in reading both Blood Debts and Blood Justice, I just was like um overwhelmed and like really appreciative of
Hmm.
like I tell people all the time, it's like these are the stories I wish were around when I was a kid, so I could have saw
Hmm.
myself reflected in what I was reading, you know? And
Yeah.
so, you know what I
And
mean?
here, I'm like, if I had had stories like Blood Debts and Blood Justice and Alex Wise when I was a kid, the trajectory of my young adult life would have been completely different. Because I never got to, it took me so long to figure out who I was and to like see myself because I never saw myself reflected in the media or out in the broader world. So it took me so long, like decades, to figure out who I was.
Who you telling? I was
Mhm,
like, yo. And then when I thought I had it figured out, I was like, no, wait a minute.
mhm,
Like, nah, that wasn't what it was. It was this. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And so like, yeah, cause growing up, like I definitely didn't see a lot of people of color in what I read, and I definitely
mhm,
didn't see any at the time would have been queer or lesbian um
mhm,
characters in what I read. And then um you know, as an adult transitioning, now I see um myself in books, but not like when I was coming up, like would have made
mhm,
it easier for me to be able to put my finger on what I felt and why I felt
mhm,
that way. But you know, at least the new generation, you know, we gotta make sure it's
mhm.
you know,
Yeah, they're at least they are eating good, so that makes me
exactly,
happy. Yeah.
exactly. So describe your writing process. Do you write like plot and plan, or are you more organic with the way you
Mhm.
write?
So I'm very analytical. So I'm an industrial engineer. So I approach everything like with a heavily like defined process that's like super efficient. It's like I do all the planning up front. I typically start with like a concept or a character, and I build it up from there into just like a general idea. And then I also do like I forget what the word is. It's I call it bubble charting, with like brainstorm charting, where I just like put out just like high level ideas of things that I want to do and things that I want to see, and then I use that to build an outline based on either 3, 4, or 5 act structure. And I'd write across like all different structures, like Blood Justice is 5 acts, and then I build the detailed outline from there. And for the Blood Debts series, I do something really interesting, because like the plot for that one is a little bit more complicated. So for Blood Justice, I actually made what's called swim lanes, where like every character got a lane, and then I wrote like what they're doing as the story is advancing and how like the different plot points like affect the other characters in their lanes.
I like
And so yeah, it's really intricate because there's so many moving pieces and there's so many characters and there's so much stuff going on. So I want to keep track of everything and how it like affects the central plot. So I do the swim lane and then I do the detailed chapter outline. And then when I draft one POV at a time.
Mm.
And so that keeps me like focused on the voice of the character and also like on their specific like plot thread for that book. And I will start with Valentina. I always start with her first because she's one of my favorites to write. I love writing her chapters. Because she is just so out of pocket and I love
Yo, like to the left, man, to the
it.
left, like all the way
Mhm,
to the left. But it's funny because she to the left, right? And so because I love the twins, right? I should really
mhm,
dislike her. But I
mhm,
don't really dislike her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like like on one hand, I'm like, yo, you gonna get what's coming to you, shorty. And then on the other hand, it's like, yo, I want you to win, but not, you
mhm.
know what I'm saying? This is so
Yeah. She's the villain you love to hate because you can sympathize with what she's going through, and like I wrote her like that on purpose. Because actually, and not to get you off topic, because I know you have everything like planned out, but
nah, you good. I
okay,
like to go with the flow of the conversation so I could throw that off the
okay,
window and
okay, good, because I'd be running my mouth, so
go
yeah, let
ahead.
me know. Um, but like that relates to like the overall like series theme, right? Because I think about this series as kind of like a cautionary tale for what could potentially happen if we don't break the cycles of generational trauma and violence in our communities and in our families. And the relationship between Valentina and Chris is a perfect example of that. Because let's be honest, like while we understand why Valentina doesn't like Chris and why she did what she did to Chris, at the end of the day, there's really no reason why they should be feuding because they are so much alike.
Definitely.
And I had a lot of fun writing Blood Justice and showing like the moments between those two POVs where there was something that Christina might have benefited from or some knowledge that Valentina had, or like they shared a similar thought, like in the beginning when both of them come to the conclusion that sometimes violence is the answer, and they have it about like two separate things. So I'm just like, man, if y'all could be friends and y'all could like put y'all heads together, like y'all could accomplish so much.
Yeah,
And then like there's little moments like if anybody's watching this, like if you're reading Blood Justice, like be on the lookout for like those little moments where you see like when you compare and contrast like what's going on between Chris and Val, and just think about like how different that situation would be if they were friends. And um yeah, it's kind of because it's just a cautionary tale of like what we stand to lose if we don't break those toxic cycles. And even though in Blood Justice, Chris tries, but Valentina wasn't having it. She's already too far gone. So
definitely. I was
yeah.
like, oh man. You like, oh man. I'm like, I don't like you, but I like you, and
Hmm.
yo, you sound like her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
why are y'all feuding? It was yo. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get everybody in the world to read that book.
Yes.
The series completely. Like, I mean, legit. I'm trying to get them to read everything within the TJ verse. Quite
Hmm.
honestly, it's like I don't think there's anything that you couldn't write at this point.
I appreciate that.
You
That really means a lot to me because I always love, because like I said before, I growing up, like I didn't have, we just talked about this, like we didn't have these type of stories growing up. So I take what I do very serious, and every single thing that I write is for our community. So it makes me very happy when my people come to me and tell me they enjoy the meal that I created for them, and like I want to talk about it, and I enjoy talking about it, and I enjoy doing this for the community. So yeah, I love it.
definitely, because I like there was so many times in the book in the series that I saw myself, especially with Clem and his anxiety, like
Yeah.
yo, talking about anxiety, like on top of anxiety, like
Hmm.
and so when he was having his moments, I was like, yo, that's me,
Hmm.
and so
That's us.
that's us, right?
Hmm.
I was like, yo, I'm like, this book should be a movie, should be a series.
Yeah. I want it to be a television series so bad. We're actually out on film submission right now. Haven't heard anything, so I
Oh,
don't.
it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
Definitely. Hey, I believe in speaking things into existence for sure.
Yeah.
If it became a movie, who would you want to play the characters?
So when it comes to the teams, I would actually love to have fresh faces.
Mhm.
Um, and if not fresh faces, people who are like pretty young in their careers. What I love the most about adaptations like this is that it creates the opportunity to launch careers for young artists. And this could be a really great opportunity for a bunch of like young POC artists. And that would be really cool to be able to like create the IP that like catapults somebody into stardom. Like that would be really cool.
Def-
Um, and and I will say for Lenora Savant, I always envision Lynn Whitfield. I feel like she would be a perfect Lenora. Even
yeah.
when I was writing it, I always envisioned her. Um, this has been floating around in my mind. Like for Marie, I'm like bobbing between Merle Dandridge or Regina Hall.
Hmm. I can see either one of them in that spot.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. So, if you had to describe the series in 10 words, what 10 words would you use?
Ooh. Um,
Or
okay.
less.
Epic, sprawling, unhinged, black. Um, can I use profanity? Can I curse on
Yeah,
here?
go ahead.
Okay, gay as fuck.
Yes.
Messy, magical, and let me think a little bit. I'll give you one more. Thrilling.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I like that. Um, Now you're one of my favorite authors, right?
Thank you.
Who would be one of your favorite authors? Or give me a top five.
Okay, top five. Adam Sass. He is the author of Surrender Your Sons, Your Lonely Nights Are Over, The 99 Boyfriends of Micah Summers, and he has a book, Cursed Boys and Broken Hearts, that's a companion novel to 99 Boyfriends that's coming out the exact same day as The White Guy Dies First.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so like we're doing like a little Barbenheimer like virtual event with Mysterious Galaxy Bookstore. They're based in San Diego, but it's a virtual event, so anybody can come. Just if you register, you can come hang out with us. So he is definitely one of my favorite authors. I think he's like a very one of the most important like queer voices in fiction right now. Jazz Hammonds is another one of my favorites. We Deserve Monuments just like altered my brain chemistry. Like that book is just so beautiful. And
Yes,
Jazz is also like I don't know if you've had the opportunity to meet them yet
I
or
have not.
interview them. They are one of the most wonderful people that I have met in publishing.
I am hoping to get to sit down with them because I'm
Mhm.
going to review Thirsty
Thirsty.
in September. Yeah.
Have you read it?
I have not read it yet.
It's so good. It's
Is
so good.
it's my next read because I'm doing it for September. So
Mhm. Yeah, I can't wait for you to read it. It's really good. Um, Other favorite authors would be Jordan Fueco, Kaylin Bayron, Alexis Henderson is another favorite, Adam Caesar. And I say this all the time, Adam Caesar is the only straight white man who I stand. Because his work is just like he does horror, he does Clown in the Cornfield, which Clown in the Cornfield 3 is coming out soon. And he just did an Audible original called The Influencer. That's a horror thriller. It's so good. Like I still think about it, and it's actually being published as a novel.
mm,
So that's coming out soon. So all of them are all like out by
now I
authors,
got a
and they're
whole
all
list
like
of stuff
amazing
I'm gonna have
people.
to. Now I got a whole list of stuff I'm gonna have to check out. Boy, I tell you.
Hmm.
Let's see. What's your favorite line in the series, either out of one book or both books, or your ultimate favorite line?
My ultimate favorite line would probably be from Blood Justice, and it was from Chris, and it's when she says, "In 5 minutes he'll be brain dead. In 8, the Never Realm can have him."
Yes, yes. Crispy. Man, listen.
Hmm.
Yeah, now my favorite would be from Blood Debts.
Okay.
I can't remember if Clem said it or Chris said it,
Hmm.
but bring me her head.
It was Clem.
Oh yes. Yo, that
Yeah.
was everything.
Hmm.
That was everything for me. I was walking around the house for like 2 weeks.
And so also, so two things. One, but I would say my favorite line is also from that scene when she's like, "Please have mercy on me," and they're like, "No." Like I love that,
No.
and then I also love how in Blood Justice, like, and then you just reminded me of this when you said, "Bring me her head," how like her head is a running joke. Well, not a running joke, but it's like a
Yeah,
running thing, like throughout
yeah,
the whole book. It's like everybody's talking about her head, and nobody ever says like where the head is or what they did with it, and you find out like at the very last moment. Like,
yo. Like I was like, yo, this is everything. I'm telling you. I said the line so much that my wife had to read the series.
uh, but did she like it?
Oh, she loved it. She loved it, and she's not even like a fantasy reader, but
Hmm.
she's
You know,
married to.
I have heard from people who aren't fantasy readers that the Blood Debt series is a easy like entry level like book because even though it's magic, like it's a slow ramp up and the magic system is easy to understand,
Yup,
and it's of course plus it's like contemporary, so like those stories are inherently easier because you're not dealing with like second world stuff.
exactly. It was awesome. Like I'll tell you, I love the series so much. I recently graduated from a leadership program for trans leaders, right? And so
Hmm.
graduation was in New Orleans.
Oh,
And
congrats!
so on my downtime, I was walking around, like, I wonder if this where the bar was. Like, like I was
You
having,
walk around the corner.
yes,
Hmm.
I was having a great time. Definitely a great time. All right. Um, who inspires you?
Ooh, a bunch of people. So one person who inspires me is Adam Sass. So I mentioned him earlier. He's another author. He's another queer author. He's also my best friend, and we have been friends for quite a while now. I think we first met when Surrender Your Sons was he was getting ready to go on submission with that, and he has just been like such an incredible like partner in life and like helping me navigate publishing and like he knows about like everything that I'm working on. And I would be like, he talked with me so much about Clem's storyline in Blood Justice because Clem is my favorite character. And I wanted to make sure with his arc in Blood Justice that I was very careful with how I presented him and just like the queer male struggle, especially like the queer POC male struggle. And I talked with Adam about it, and he like tirelessly sat on the phone with me for many hours and like listened to me go on and like gave me advice and like we worked through stuff together. And so he definitely, and plus, like, his work is amazing. And it's really cool to be friends with someone who, like, constantly is leveling up their work and inspiring you to do the same. And I'm
Mhm.
sure he would say the same thing about me, but like, it's just, it's very inspiring and uplifting to have a friend like him. Um, I'll also say Beyonce because I am a member of the Beehive. I say this often. I have been a fan of Beyonce like from the very beginning. I
Mhm.
literally have my high school senior book from when Destiny's Child was like when Survivor had just come out when I was in high school, and I like plastered the inside cover and the front inside cover and the back inside cover with just like cutouts from magazines of just like nothing but Destiny's Child. There are like several pages in there. It's just like collages of them. I was obsessed with her and I followed like her whole career. And I've been a fan like the whole time. And it's been really, really cool to see like how she's progressed from when she was with Destiny's Child and they were like performing in the middle of North Cat Mall in Atlanta to now where like she's a celebrity and not just that, but just like following her music and seeing how like her artistry has grown and how she's constantly like leveling up and challenging herself with every single album. Like it's inspired me so much. And right now I'm listening to Cowboy Carter on
Uh-huh.
repeat, which is so it's like I'm just so inspired by that. Cause like I was one I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Beehive like down. But when I heard she was doing country, I was kind of like, country. But I can't, like, it is probably my favorite Beyonce album. And what sold it for me was when she was like, "This is not a country album. This is a Beyonce album." And I was like, "You better talk your shit." Like,
Better let them know.
yeah. And so I try to embody that with my work too. So where like even if I'm working in a genre that I haven't worked in before, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm working on a romantasy, an adult romantasy. I don't know if you've heard about
I
it.
saw the video.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw your Instagram now.
So, like, and at first, like, I was feeling like I've never written a romance before. Like, I don't know how to write this, but I was like, this is not a romantasy. This is a Terry J. Benton-Walker book, and I'm gonna serve you something, and it's you
That's
gonna love
it. That what? How can you say you don't write romance? Like what?
it. Yeah, like, 'cause,
Oh,
like, there's romantic elements in Blood Debts and even in Alex Wise, but it's just, like, it's a completely different beast to write a book that's, like it's, like, solely focused even though there's other stuff going on in the romantasy, but, like, people are there for the romance
for
plot,
the
so, like, you gotta have, like, the love interest gotta be right, you gotta have the meet cute, you gotta have all of that stuff in there, and it's, like, it's daunting. Like, writing romance is hard. Like, people
blood.
give the romance genre shit, but it's like, it's hard. Like, it's not easy.
Listen, listen. I don't even like romance, and I'm already ready to buy the book whenever it hit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like tell people in the
You'll like
media.
this one.
Yeah, I'd be like, nope, don't do romance. Not me. But when as soon as I seen the Instagram video, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Well, and it's a romantasy too, so there's gonna be magic and witches and dragons and stuff, so
I'm
it
sold.
won't just be like straight romance.
I'm sold. It don't even matter. You know how you feel about Beyonce? Yeah, I'm like that's what we on right
Mhm.
here. I'm as soon as you said welcome to the TJverse, I was in.
Yep.
You told me you follow me on Twitter. Yes, I follow you on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Like
Yes,
I am fully invested. I am a fan.
I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you and the work that you do. So, because
Thank
I've been,
you.
been telling these people, y'all listen, get these books, bruh. Like, get these books. Speaking of books, let's switch gears because it's coming out in July.
Yes.
July 16th.
Mhm. Yes.
The white guy dies first. When I tell you, I I growing up, I used to read horror, but I won't watch no.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna watch. I watch old horror movies, but I won't really watch new horror movies because for me they seem um more for the gross effect than the you gonna scare me and make me think about some things kind of genre today. But
Okay, you need to hit me up for some recs. I can give you some that are
you
gonna
do
scare
some
you, like, on a different level than just, like, being gross.
okay, cause I don't
Yeah.
do the gross. I don't. I'll be
Yeah.
like, nah, I ain't watching that.
Mhm.
Cool. I'm definitely gonna need them recs.
Yeah.
Cause
I
cause
got you. Hit me up offline, and
I got
I'll send you some
I
recs.
got you. I got you. Yo, this book was everything.
Thank you. I'm glad you loved it.
Was everything. And then like you got like I was like, okay, so I'm gonna see who these writers are, and if it's somebody I don't have their work of, I'm gonna add them if I like their short story. I think every name on there, I have like most of the stuff in their catalog. I was like, oh, we bringing out heavy hitters. That's what we
Mhm.
doing.
Yep. The roster for this anthology is just incredible. Like, I remember when everyone signed on and we had everybody locked in, I would just stare at it in disbelief. I'm like, I cannot believe that I got all of these superstars to agree to work on this project with me and, like, be edited by me. Like, I got to edit Tiffany D. Jackson. Like, that was wild. And, like, she was so wonderful to edit, and she was so gracious and so nice, and I'm just like like, can we change this possibly? Like, also, you don't have to, just let me know." And she was so nice.
Dude, I was like, this is everything. I was like, I love all of these people. I was like, yeah, let me. Oh, nope, I got that. Yep, nope, I got it. They work too. Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Mhm.
Like at this point, like I said, I don't think there's anything that you can't write. Like,
Nonfiction.
I mean, you you probably could if you put your mind to it.
I could, with my science background, I
See,
probably could. I don't want to,
see,
though.
I'm sure that you could. Like, and always the author notes get me every time.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start reading your author notes. Like I be
It just
I be emotional before I even get to the book.
and, I thought about that too because I was like, every single book that I write, like, these aren't just vanity projects. Like, these are stories that I feel need to be told for a very specific reason. And, I was like, "Is every single book that I write gonna have an author's note at the front?" And I think so. I
Ooh, I'm saying I'm gonna start reading them. No, I'm glad I'm still gonna read them because how could you not read the author's notes?
Mhm.
It's
It lets you know
crazy.
what you're in for, how much you gonna hurt.
I promise you, I was like, yo, stop it. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going into this. Like I'd be with my marker, I'd be like, oh, that's yeah, gotta mark that off. Oh man, like I can't wait for this to come out. Can't hey, y'all see this? Y'all see the cover? Y'all hey, July 16th. Y'all need to be at the bookstore
Hmm.
before they open to get your book. Okay? And while you there, make sure if you don't already own the Blood Debt series that you grab it while you there.
Hmm. Yeah,
Make sure
go
that
ahead
you
and pick it up.
yeah,
Get blood debts and blood justice because if you get blood debts and you don't get blood justice, when you finish blood debts, you're gonna be mad.
because
I'm
you
letting you
have to
know
go
right
back
now.
to the store.
Yeah, because you got to go back.
I had to go back. I was like, yo, I'm so glad I had them both because I would have been mad. I'd have been
Hmm.
like, what? Because I was already mad when I got to the end of Blood Justice and I was like, what? No, you didn't. Yes, you
I'm
did.
so sorry.
Oh man. But oh my god. Alex Wise.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get
My
into
apocalypse babies.
yes. Could you tell my peoples about Alex Wise? The Alex Wise series.
Okay, so the way that I like to pitch Alex Wise is imagine that you are 12 years old and you are on summer vacation with your 10-year-old sister, and y'all accidentally unleash the four horsemen of the apocalypse, who are ancient evil gods from a parallel universe, a parallel realm. And death possesses your little sister and kicks off a global apocalypse. And another one of those ancient gods chooses you and gives you very special powers to help save your little sister and the rest of the world. And so this is the predicament that 12-year-old Alex Wise finds himself in at the end of Act One of Alex Wise versus the End of the World. And also, like, part of the challenge for him in this story is not just going up against the four horsemen of the apocalypse and trying to save his sister, but also for him to be able to activate the very special magic powers that he get, which is called the sense. For him to activate those powers and use them to their full potential, he has to learn how to love himself.
Mm.
And this is a very like heartfelt, like thrilling, action-packed adventure series that is perfect for fans of Percy Jackson or Tristan Strong.
Another banger. Another banger. I'd be like, whoop, it's heat. It's
Mhm.
heat out the kitchen. And I love like the fact that everything in the TJ verse, you got something for everybody.
Mhm.
Something everybody can read,
Yeah.
relate to, see themselves in some way. It's like, you know, I'm loving it. And then Alex Wise versus the Cosmic Shift is coming out the day before my birthday, which
Mhm.
is what day?
September 24th.
There you go.
Yep.
So y'all better be at y'all gonna spend a lot of time at the bookstore messing around with.
Mhm.
I,
Yeah, you will.
I
But I will, the one thing that I will say is I know I am deep in y'all purses this year, y'all pocketbooks, wallets, everything else. I'm deep in it. Anywhere where the money at, I'm in it. Okay. However, I will say $20 spent in the TJverse is $20 very well spent. You are going to get your money's worth because I put every single thing into every project that I put out. Like there's no half stepping. So the quality is there, the experience is there. So it's an investment worth making, I think, personally.
I definitely agree with that. Most definitely. Y'all heard the man. Y'all go hey, don't make me keep saying it to y'all. Y'all need to get these books. If they already out, you need to own them. If they on their way out, y'all need to be at the door when they come
Hmm.
out and make sure that y'all get them.
Yeah.
So so if our readers would like to find you on social media, where they going?
So I on Twitter I am at TJ Benton-Walker, and on Instagram and TikTok I'm at Ice Cream Vice Lord. And you can also check out my website, which is TJbentonWalker.com. And there's lots of information there about like my books, including order links and pre-order links, and also event information. So if you want to come hang out with me at any of the conferences or events that I'll be at for the rest of the year, that information is on my website, as well as how to get into contact with me for reviews or school visits or anything else. So everything's on my website.
Whoop, whoop. Now I wanted to ask you, how'd you come up
Yes.
with ice cream Vice Lord?
Because I like ice cream and vice. It's simply that.
Okay. Okay. Look, let me tell you something. I live in North Carolina, but I am
Mhm,
originally from Chicago, Illinois. So when
mhm.
I saw it, I was like, is TJ? Because that's the name of a gang. So I was like, TJ from Illinois? No, I don't.
No.
So I was,
But now you got me nervous, so I need to change my name.
nah, you good, you good. But I mean, it is a name of a gang in Chicago. They call
Okay,
Vice.
because
But
I don't want nobody to come rolling up on me like, listen, I didn't know.
who be like, hey, my bad, my bad. Yeah, I was like, is no, maybe. I'm just gonna ask him.
Yeah, no.
That's so funny. Oh, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I
Yeah, thank you for having me.
appreciate
This was
you.
fun.
Yes, yes. This is probably one of my most favorite interviews to date.
Thank
I
you.
sat down with Alyssa, aka she be reading them books. That's probably
Yes, that's my friend.
yeah, she
Mhm.
said, yeah. So she was my favorite up to date until today. So now y'all running
Mhm.
close.
Okay, well, I'll share that spot with her. We can share it because I
Yeah.
like Alyssa. She's amazing. I love her TikTok channel. I be watching her TikTok like TV. Like you were
I
so funny.
promise you.
I want her to have like I could see her having like her own talk show or her own podcast or something. Like it's
Definitely. Definitely. She should definitely do the podcast thing.
mhm,
Definitely. And then roll into the TV thing. Like
mhm,
for sure. Cause like I promise you when I got on TikTok, once I found my way to the Black Book Talk area, it took me a minute to find
yeah,
it.
it took a minute to get there.
Took me a minute to get there. I was
You
like,
be lost in the hallway, in the bathroom
yeah.
with Rebecca Yarros.
I was like, what is this foolishness that's happening here? And then I finally found my way. Cause thank the Lord. Like on my For You page, it was a TikTok from Tiff. And I don't know
Mhm,
how it ended up there, but she had a
mhm,
TikTok video to tell you how to get to Black Book Talk.
mhm.
And the minute I got there, she be reading them books was there
Yep,
and
mhm,
dismantled completely my wallet.
yep,
Yep. And so I was like,
mhm.
I found
But
my Mecca.
yeah, I have been having a lot of fun with on Black Book Talk. It's so nice over there. I love it.
Yes, I am. Me too. I'm so glad I found my way because I'm
Mhm,
like, yo, the other side was like, what are we doing here?
mhm.
This is
I was like, I don't know if I want to be here. I don't feel safe.
right. I don't feel safe here. Please help me. All right. So thank you so much. This has been completely awesome. You guys go out and get those books
Yes.
today. When you see this, because when you see it, you go to the bookstore. If the book not out yet, just stand there. Just wait.
You can also pre-order.
Pre-order. Just pre-order. Just pre-order. Now that was another question. So sometimes I see authors on TikTok or Instagram and they say pre-order or make sure that you buy the book on release date because those dates are
Mhm,
important or those numbers are important.
mhm. Pre-orders count towards first week sales, so pre-orders to me are just as important as going out the first week and buying the book. So either one is fine for me. Like I'm just happy you buy the book, whether you pre-order it or you go out on week one, a day one. I'm just happy you're buying it.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard the man. Pre-order or get your butt to the bookstore when just pre-order.
Mhm.
Let's just make our commitment now to just pre-order. Okay?
Yeah, and also don't forget about libraries too. So like request it at your local library, request it at your school libraries, and let your librarians know that you want it, and you're interested in it. And if it's there and they only have one copy, like let them know that like you really like it, and they might get more copies too. So yeah, don't forget about the libraries.
That's right. I like that. Support your local library.
Hmm.
They love it when I come in. Cause I'm checking out books and then I'm
Hmm.
buying books while I'm there. You know, the ones that they've taken off the shelf and stuff.
Hmm.
Hey, I listen. I
I
need to.
used to love that when I was a kid. Like, and we would go, and they would have. I'm probably dating myself, but like when they would have the books that you could get like books for a nickel or a dime.
Yes,
Um, and these weren't like new books before people like start trying to make jokes. These were like these were books that they were going to like discard and like destroy. Okay,
yes,
so a dime was better than nothing.
absolutely. Now it's like $1. Like $1. I go in there with five
Mm,
dollars and come out with five good books.
yeah.
So they love to see. And then I already got my whole stack. I done already put on my checkout list. So they like, you know, here he comes. How y'all doing? So it's awesome. All right, we ain't never gonna end this interview. Okay,
Right. Okay. I'm stop. I'm done.
I'm done. I could do this all night, but we can't do this all night. So yo, thank y'all for sitting down with us. It is your favorite dyslexic book nerd. Check us out next month. If you are not a subscriber of Black Owl Magazine, I don't even know. Like, I don't know why I keep talking to y'all about this. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We are the pulse of the culture. Black and brown queer people. Come on, let's get to it. All right. Check y'all out. First of the month for the magazine. July 15th is book therapy. We live on Facebook, Instagram, and if I can work it out, maybe we'll be live on TikTok. So don't meet me there, beat me there. Till next time, go read a book.